Breaking news! Everything you thought you knew about the future of the Baltimore Ravens might be about to change. A shocking coaching exit, a massive wave of cash now up for grabs, and a head coaching hunt that could reshape this franchise for the next decade. But here's the twist. What's brewing behind the scenes in Baltimore might be bigger, bolder, and more aggressive than anyone expected. And the names being discussed? Some of them will leave you speechless. But before we dive in, make sure you hit that like button if you're a true Ravens fan. It's always amazing to see fans of all ages supporting this team. And if you feel like it, comment, "Go Ravens," down below. We want to know who's still riding with us through every twist and turn. After just 9 days of speculation, it's now officially official. John Harbaugh is gone. The former Ravens head coach has taken the top job with the New York Giants on a stunning 5-year, $100 million deal. That contract ties him with Kansas City's Andy Reid for the highest paid coach in the entire NFL, putting an emphatic exclamation point on the end of an era in Baltimore. For some Ravens fans, this is bittersweet. Harbaugh brought the city a Super Bowl, built a culture of toughness and resilience, and led the team through highs and lows with a steady hand. But make no mistake, this move might be the most important pivot point for the Ravens in a decade. Because while Harbaugh cashes in up north, Ravens owner Steve Bisciotti just saved $52 million. Let that sink in. Just under a year ago, Baltimore signed Harbaugh to a contract extension in March 2025. The details were kept under wraps, but clearly it was a hefty one. With Harbaugh walking into his mega deal in New York, Bisciotti is now completely off the hook for that massive payout. While that $52 million doesn't count toward the salary cap, it can't be used to sign players. It absolutely can and will be used to reshape the Ravens coaching staff from the ground up. And that's exactly what's expected. In a press conference just 2 days ago, Bisciotti and GM Eric DeCosta made it clear they weren't thrilled with the direction of the coaching regime over the last couple of years. That means we're not just talking about hiring a new head coach. We're talking about a top-to-bottom overhaul. Think aggressive. Think ambitious. Think big. There's no salary cap on how much you can pay a head coach or staff. That means Bisciotti can write any check he wants, whether it's to land a high-profile name like Nick Saban out of retirement or to build an all-star lineup of assistants around a younger head coach. With 8 head coaching vacancies around the league, the Ravens are now in a fierce battle to secure the best minds in football. But with a strong culture, elite talent, and now a massive financial edge, Baltimore is in a powerful position. Let's talk about those openings for a second. Miami? Not that intriguing. Las Vegas? A disaster for decades. Tennessee? Some potential with Cam Ward, but not enough to move the needle. Arizona and Cleveland? Likely bottom of the barrel. Even Atlanta, with its youth and promise, doesn't stack up to what Baltimore has. The Ravens are the premier destination. They have the ownership. They have the culture. They have recent success. And they have 2 elite talents on the roster, a future Hall of Fame quarterback and a future Hall of Fame running back. That's not speculation. That's real. That's what makes this job the best available in the NFL right now. And while last year's coaching cycle had clear top-tier candidates like Ben Johnson and Mike Vrabel, this year's field is murkier. There's no S-tier name that stands above the rest. But there are some expensive, high-upside options. Clint Kubiak, who's interviewed with more teams than anyone else so far, is emerging as a hot name. Just like Ben Johnson last year, Kubiak's growing buzz is driving up his price. Then there's Robert Saleh, previously with the Jets, who's expected to command more than the $5 million he was making in New York. And don't forget Kevin Stefanski, a 2-time coach of the year who won't come cheap either. Bisciotti now has the money to go all in, and don't think he'll hesitate. He's not Jerry Jones. He's not looking to cut corners or play it safe. This is about reloading Baltimore's identity with a coaching staff that can take the team not just to the playoffs, but all the way. As for the odds, Jesse Minter is currently the betting favorite at plus 135. The young, rising defensive mind with ties to Baltimore checks all the boxes: strong leadership, defensive IQ, cultural fit. Clint Kubiak follows at plus 220. Saleh is sitting at plus 380, and Brian Flores, another hard-nosed, aggressive coach with a Ravens edge, is at plus 550. Stefanski, for better or worse, rounds out the top 5 at plus 600. Because here's the thing, this decision isn't just about replacing a coach. It's about defining what kind of team the Baltimore Ravens will be for the next decade. Every move that comes next, from who leads the locker room to who calls the plays on Sunday, will set the tone for a new era in Baltimore. And with $52 million back in Steve Bisciotti's pocket, the leash is off. There are no more excuses. Let's dig deeper into the leading candidates, because it's not just about names, it's about fit. Jesse Minter, the odds-on favorite, makes sense in so many ways. He's young, respected, and already has deep roots in Baltimore's system. He knows the organization. He knows the expectations. He brings a defensive mindset that mirrors the Ravens' DNA. He's not a flashy pick, but he might be the most Raven-esque option on the board. Minter could be the stabilizing force this team needs, someone who can step in and command respect from day one. But that raises a big question. If Minter is the head coach, who becomes his offensive coordinator? That part of the puzzle matters just as much. Then there's Clint Kubiak. Now this is where it gets interesting. If the Ravens want to go bold and modernize their offense around Lamar Jackson, Kubiak might be the guy. He's from the Shanahan tree, understands motion, play action, and quarterback efficiency. And if the Ravens are serious about giving Lamar the tools he needs to elevate this team to a Super Bowl level, an offensive-minded coach like Kubiak could bring fresh ideas and unlock new levels of performance. But he's in high demand. He's interviewing everywhere. That drives his price up. And here's where that $52 million savings becomes crucial. It allows Baltimore to outbid the competition, not just for Kubiak, but to bring in top-tier coordinators and assistants to surround him. Same goes for Robert Saleh. You want intensity? You want energy? Saleh brings that in waves. He might not have had the success he wanted in New York, but he was leading a fractured franchise with little direction. Baltimore offers structure, talent, and leadership. Saleh would walk into a different world in Baltimore. His defensive pedigree is unquestionable. The concern, again, is offensive staff. Can he bring in a coordinator who can maximize this unit? And then there's Brian Flores, the wild card. If you want to bring the grit back to Baltimore, if you want to strike fear into opponents again, Flores is your guy. He's got the edge, the toughness, the command. He's proven he can lead a locker room, and his defensive mind is among the best in the NFL. He's also been vocal, outspoken, unafraid to challenge the system, which could either energize the Ravens or stir up pressure depending on the fit. But in terms of pure football mindset, Flores checks a lot of the same boxes that made Harbaugh successful early in his Ravens tenure. Then we have Kevin Stefanski. This one is controversial. A two-time coach of the year, sure, but there are real questions about his ability to lead a team like Baltimore. Stefanski had moments of brilliance with the Browns, but also long stretches of underachievement. Is he adaptable enough? Is he tough enough? Can he command a locker room that's used to winning? Those are real concerns. At plus 600, he's in the conversation, but the reaction from the fan base could be polarizing. Now, let's bring it back to Harbaugh, because while Ravens fans will remember him for the Super Bowl, the truth is Baltimore had hit a ceiling. It's been over a decade since that championship. Playoff wins have been few and far between. The culture remained strong, but the results were no longer matching the expectation. That's not bitterness, it's just reality. A fresh voice was needed. The fact that the Giants immediately jumped to hire him shows how respected Harbaugh is league-wide, but also how both sides needed a change. And Harbaugh isn't going alone. Todd Monken, who played a key role in developing the Ravens offense this past year, is following Harbaugh to New York. That's another major shift. It opens up a critical role in Baltimore, the offensive coordinator spot, and puts even more pressure on whoever the new head coach is to get that hire right. Because let's not forget what's on the line. You have a quarterback in Lamar Jackson, still in his prime, still one of the most electrifying players in the NFL. You have a defense that is consistently ranked among the league's elite. You have a fan base that expects playoff football and a front office willing to invest. This isn't a rebuild. This is a reload, which is why the coaching hire needs to be perfect. Not decent, not safe, perfect. You only get so many shots at this. And the wrong move sets you back years. The right move? It puts you back in the AFC title game. It gets you back to the Super Bowl. And yes, it could deliver another parade down Pratt Street. So Ravens fans, here's the final question. With the candidates on the table and the money in hand, who do you want to lead this team into the next era? Drop your pick in the comments below and let us know how much you'd be willing to pay.